Hello and welcome to Amber in the Kitchen. Today I was going to talk to you guys about knives, knife safety in particular. I think I'm probably going to end up doing a little bit of a mini series. So be on the lookout for more knife videos. But for now, I want to talk about this little guy. Most knife sets come with a seal, and that's for keeping the blade edge nice and sharp. It's not for sharpening it, but it's for keeping it sharp. And what you want to do in order to use these is take your knife and put it at about a 45-degree angle. You can see there. And you bring it down. You want to go from the heel of your knife to the tip of your knife as you come down the steel. And then you go the same thing on the other side, 45 degrees the other way, and go down. Okay, so your steel that comes with your knife set should be the one that you use. And you always want to go from top to bottom, because as you use it more, it will only get better. Make sure you keep your thumb and your finger behind your finger guard here. That's for your safety, so you don't cut yourself. And then always keep your knife touching that as you move down. And you can get really good at this and go fast and not have to worry about being in danger here. Okay, another trick I wanted to show you guys about your knife is when you are cutting, there's a couple of things you can do. You can hold the handle of your knife, or you can put your finger here on the back spine of the knife, or you can pinch the blade like this. It depends on the weight of your knife, how evenly weighted it is. This one is a little heavy on the handle. It's not perfectly centered, that's all right. And then I want to show you guys a little bit using a cabbage, because I am going to make sauerkraut for my family. So let me kind of adjust the camera here for you guys. You can see my cabbage and my knife. Go ahead and peel this outer leaf off. And then I like to cut my cabbage kind of going with this leaf overlay here. I'm just gonna cut straight down. And then I like to cut this in a quarter. And if you follow your leaves, they'll tell you where you need to cut. Okay, and then I'm gonna get this root out here by cutting across that way. Okay, and then I see here this leaf is a little dirty. I'm going to take that one off. And be good to go. All right. So I'm going to turn this towards you guys so you can see a little better. And then I like to pinch my blade here on this knife. Not all my knives I hold the same way. They're all a little bit different. So, but this is my chef knife. And then I'm just going to start cutting. Now, you'll notice my hand is very close to my knife. I'm actually touching my finger here. And the reason why you want to keep your hand close to your knife is so that you know where your knife is at all times. One of the ways that it's really easy to cut yourself is when you're over here and you're not paying attention, or talking maybe to a friend in the kitchen or something like that, or maybe one of your kids walks by and you turn your shoulder and you end up cutting yourself. So when you come down, it's best if you can kind of curl your fingers, and if you can, keep your knife on this flat surface between your knuckles. Okay, and come down. And then there's another trick with knives that you can use, and it's a little bit more difficult to do on a taller vegetable like this, but say you're working with some small potatoes or some carrots, try to keep the tip of your knife on the cutting board. And this will help with uniformity of cuts, and it will make it a lot quieter in your kitchen. Okay, let me see if I can turn this way. And you can see I draw my knife back towards myself and then push down and forward when I'm cutting. Okay. And as I'm getting to the end of my cabbage, it gets a little more difficult. So you can just turn your cabbage over so it's more flat and more stable. Now, I like to cut my cabbage really thin when I am doing my sauerkraut. But you might like to cut yours a little differently. So I will show you guys an easy way to do that. So you can hear the difference as I keep the tip of my knife on the board. It's a lot more quiet than when I lift it up. You hear that chopping more on the cutting board. Okay, so say you don't want to have your cabbage so thin and you want to have it more like square, say bite size, like if you're doing a coleslaw or something, you don't want it quite so long. To cube this up would be really simple because you can cut down here and then turn it and cut across. And then you could make it thin still but shorter that way, or you could cube it, like square it and go bigger cuts. That's up to you guys. That's an easy way to cut something like this. But that's just a quick tip I wanted to share with you guys. If you hold your food with a curled hand, and then you can kind of guide your knife with your fingers, and then you just pull your fingers back while you keep your thumb stationary. So I'm kind of going like this and pinching towards my thumb, and then I'll move my thumb later on and come back. And it's a good idea to use your hand to stabilize your vegetables. Don't be scared of your knife. You always want to have a sharp knife because it's the most dangerous when your knife is dull. That's how you do really bad cuts usually, because you're trying to cut with your knife and you can't get through, so you start strong arming it and then you kind of wobble or vary, and then that's how you can like cut your finger off, or other various things that can happen. So sharp knife, keep it sharp with your steel that comes with most knife sets. If you don't have a knife set, you can find a steel. I like to keep with the same brand. And don't be afraid to touch your knife as it's coming down. Cut close to your hand. And that way you will always know where your knife is. And it also helps with like measuring, kind of like you can feel a consistent movement in your hand coming away from your knife, so you can have more consistent cuts. Okay, so those are my quick knife tips. Let me know in the comments if you have something that you'd like to know more about concerning knives, and I will do my best to give it an answer. Yeah, so this is how I make my sauerkraut. Just chop it up and add my salt. It's pretty simple. I suppose I could do a recipe on sauerkraut for you guys. All right, have a wonderful day. Like and share if you can, and please do subscribe. Have a wonderful day.